Hello everyone, welcome to another Voice Essentials live hangout. So good to spend what is for us here in Brisbane, Australia, a very rainy, well, it's been a rainy weekend, and here we are on Monday and we're being told to expect a weather event. In fact, I thought I'd start off today by showing you this so-called weather event. Have a look at this. This is our rain coming through here, and now that's not too bad at the moment, but all weekend we've been being pounded with rain, and it's apparently going to be continuing to be quite squally, with one area just above where I live expecting its monthly rainfall supposed to happen in the next 24 hours. So that's quite a bit of rain to be coping with. I hope you are dry and warm and safe in your part of the world. Of course, be sure to let us know where you're from and what the weather's like in your part of the world. We hang out here every week, typically on a Monday or Tuesday, and so if this is the first time you're watching our live event, we welcome you. We are a friendly bunch of people here at Voice Essentials. My name is Dr. Dan, and I'm a contemporary singing voice specialist. That simply means that it's my job to help you realise the full potential of your singing voice, and we get to do that here, as I said, live once a week, and we at least once a week. Last week we did 2, which was a little bit of a bonus, and of course we have our pre-record video, our much more in-depth video that goes live every Wednesday. Of course, the only way you can find out about those videos is to subscribe. We would love for you to subscribe and join our ever-growing community. Last week, we went past the 20,000 subscriber mark, which was really exciting. Numbers is not what we're really about here at Voice Essentials, but nonetheless, it was kind of a cool milestone to have that many people involved here at the channel. And yeah, so that was pretty cool. And I've lost my train of thought. So 20,000, really cool, and we hope that you will join us as well. Of course, we have a live chat going on right now. Let's have a look to see who's on. So we've got the 2 Lindas who are regulars. Osgray's here. Karen from Singwise. I know Gavin's way back up the top of the live chat. Welcome to you all. Of course, you guys are all regulars, and it's actually for my regular subscribers that I wanted to give you some news, some updates with what's been happening with the channel. And you know, Karen was just saying before that she, and in fact you can read that there on the screen, that she's still up. Karen from Singwise has got a great channel over there. You can go and check it out later, but she has a channel, and she's from the US. She's a fellow singing teacher. And she's been up editing, because I don't know what time it is in your part of the world, Karen. It must be, is it 1 a.m., 11 a.m., 11 p.m.? What time is it there, Karen, in the US? Let us know. Because here on YouTube, you've got to kind of keep the videos rolling. And we've got Eric's just jumped in. Love what you do and wish me good luck so I can be in chambers in my high school. Eric, we do wish you good luck. 1 a.m., Karen, that's crazy. You definitely should be in bed and not editing videos. But that is the never-ending story here on YouTube. We've got to keep the videos rolling because we really want to help you, our subscribers, in the case of singing lesson videos, to become the best singers that you can possibly be. And so what I want to do today is I want to show you give you some sneak previews, if you like, of some things that I've been working on. And I do try to keep you guys and gals informed to what's happening here at the channel. Look, without, you know, looking for any sympathy, having a YouTube channel is a lot of work. And for the most part, it's something that we don't kind of get paid for. There's, you know, I have passive remuneration in the sense that some people choose to buy the exercise CD, and you can see the scrolling aspect thing down the bottom there, and I think many of you who are on the channel in the live chat right now have bought the CD. And look, that is of great benefit. It really helps. Every little penny helps just to keep the free stuff flowing. And so if you haven't bought the CD yet, I would love you to, you know, it's a way of contributing to the channel. You get, you know, you spend a few bucks and you get something in return, which incidentally I direct a lot of people to using during our videos. But nonetheless, the whole channel thing, it's not really something that we get paid for. We do it from a sense of passion. And in fact, I was in Stockholm only about, well, dearie me, it's a little while now. It happened around Jodie's diagnosis, and for those of you who are interested, Jodie is doing really well. She's next door cooking up a storm currently, and so her chemo is going really well. Yeah, in Stockholm I was asked about my channel. This is about 12 weeks ago. It wouldn't be that long, about 10 weeks ago. And someone said, "Oh, you must have the channel because you make a lot of money." And I said, actually, no. And I said, to be honest, when I first started the channel, I was doing it from an academic point of view, that I felt that there was a lot of misinformation on YouTube about learning to sing. So I kind of came at it from that angle. And as my channel grew and has slowly evolved, actually hopefully you'll understand and believe me when I say this, I have the channel now because I know there are so many of you who cannot afford professional singing lessons. And I'm not simply talking about pro-end singing lessons that, for example, that I offer my private students, and my lessons are not cheap. And look, I don't make any excuses or apologies for that. But equally, even if I was charging half the amount that I charge, I know many of you can't afford those lessons. And so I do want to provide and give access to those in our global community who can't afford expensive singing lessons, private tuition from anyone of any caliber or qualification. I want to give you access to development so that you are able to have some form of vocal development. And I was saying to this person that in some respects it's become more of a and what was the word they used when they said, oh, is it more of a philanthropic kind of, well, I think that's a grandiose term, but I do want to give back, and that's exactly what we're trying to do here on the channel. And so if that's something that you think you would like to be a part of, then please, you know, make sure you subscribe. And again, hit the bell, the white bell icon. Now, so what I want to show you is the challenge of having a channel is that it has to keep evolving. And so for a long time, I've been doing everything myself, and I think for the foreseeable future, that's kind of how it's going to be. Because again, I don't make enough money to spend on the channel to get other people to do the work. But I do occasionally get the injection of ideas and feedback from good people who I trust have knowledge and expertise into the space. And so one area that I really struggle with, and I've been doing the design for these since day dot, one area I really struggle with is my thumbnails. And so let me show you the thumbnails that, actually let me just bring up a thumbnail that I recently have done, and I'll give you an idea. Just give me a moment. I should have had this ready to go. So this is the kind of thumbnail that I would typically design. And this is from a recent video that we did about bel canto, and we talked through that and what have you. And look, it has served its purpose, only just. And I have never been of any misthought over the level or the quality of the thumbnails that I've been able to produce. I am not a graphic designer. I am a singing teacher, but I have worked the little bit of graphic arts knowledge that I have and design that I have to sort of get us to a point. But really, in the world of YouTube, if your thumbnails are not enticing, if they don't jump out the page, in amongst the whole range of videos that that are being offered when someone searches singing lessons, learn to sing YouTube or whatever they're searching for, if your thumbnail doesn't jump out and grab you by the neck and say, click me, then your video gets passed over. And that, for me, it means that, so to produce one video, to give you an insight, to produce one video, it takes around about, I reckon, I estimate it to be around anywhere between 6 to 8 hours per video. Because except for these videos, these live videos where it's all unscripted and it's very el natural to the camera, and we're just having a conversation. We interact through the live chat. Everything else is scripted. I sit down, I research it, I type it out, and then I record it, and then I edit it, and then I design the thumbnail, and I upload it. And so, that's a lot of work to put in for, sometimes the videos. Now, my videos do okay. Every new video is starting to get closer to, around about 800 to 1,000 views in the first week. I'm pretty pleased with that, but I want more people to come into contact not only with the channel, but with the information that I'm trying to disseminate. That I know you guys, those those of you who tune into these live chats on a regular basis, I know you guys, you're the heart and soul of this channel. So I'm preaching to the choir, and while I'm thinking of it, you can always help to get the videos more views by sharing it on Facebook, by directing friends and family and fellow singers to the videos, and encouraging them to watch the videos as well, and to subscribe to the channel. And I think the more people we have involved, then the richer the community. But anyway, so recently I approached someone who I've come into contact with, and who has some skills in video editing. And I started off by just asking her, would she please consider reviewing some of my videos? I needed to grow in my area of my video editing. And she had a look at that. And then I also asked her to do up I wanted her to do I wanted to have a look at the thumbnails to give me some feedback about how I was going. What I want to show you, and this is where some of the change is going to be taking place over the coming months. I want to show you what she came up with in regards to the thumbnails. Because these are really cool, and I wanted to share them with you. And I can see Joey's just asked a question. When coaches say pressure and compression, how much can I apply that with an exercise? Joey, I'm going to answer your questions a little bit later in the show, just for the next few moments. So hold on to that thought, Joey. I'll come back to you, and we'll answer your question in a moment. And let me say, if you have any questions, start writing them down in the live chat so I can answer your questions. So let me just show you two. And again, I haven't got this up and ready. Let me just show you. I want to show you the video, the thumbnail that I designed, and then I want to show you the thumbnail that that this newfound friend of mine has designed to give us a look. So this is the one. This is the recent. Let me get rid of this. So this thumbnail is the thumbnail I did. Now let's see. I did this thumbnail about a couple of weeks ago. This was the how to sing low notes thumbnail. And what I'd like you to do, actually, you can indicate. So let's call this thumbnail number 1. Okay, and you can see down in the bottom left-hand corner that I've got that Dr. Dan's Voice Essentials box. I've never been overly happy with that. It's something that I try to put on every thumbnail so that you, my subscribers, know when that thumbnail is going to be there. So that you know it's one of my videos and you kind of recognize, besides my ugly mug on the front. But this is the video, this is the thumbnail that my friend has just, Julia is her name, has designed. And let me show you. This is the thumbnail she has designed for exactly the same video. Now, what you can see is down in the bottom left-hand corner where this is the first change that I wanted to tell you about. Over the coming weeks and months, I am going to start introducing this new bottom left-hand corner logo where it's just VE. So it stands for, obviously, it stands for Voice Essentials. And you're going to start to see a little bit more congruency. That's not even a word, Daniel. We're going to start using the same sort of thumbnails and the same sort of fonts and everything in the videos. And I've actually asked Julia if she'll actually design my thumbnails from now on. But we'll see. She hasn't come back to me. She's a busy lady. But nonetheless, let me know which one do you prefer? Do you prefer this? If you put down you prefer, just put old or new, or maybe put one or let's say write old if you prefer the old, and write new if you prefer the new. Let me know. Tell me what you think about. Now, in my humble opinion, whilst I kind of like the zing that I wasn't displeased with this thumbnail, this old thumbnail. This is a class above. I mean, this, in my humble opinion, I really like this new thumbnail. I really like the VE in the bottom left-hand corner, but I am so keen to know what you guys think. So let me know. Let me know in the chat. Linda likes the old. Eric likes the old. Oh dear. Hey Cockney, good to have you join us. This is not working out well. I really like the new one, and I like Karen saying that's a great thumbnail that pops. So you're talking about the new one or the old one? Karen, let me know. Let me know what you guys think. I'm just waiting for you guys to write your thoughts there. New or old? Old, the text is larger, which will be easier to read. I don't like the new logo. Sorry. The smudged borders make it lose its pop. Interesting feedback. Interesting feedback. Okay, now there is some recent research, Karen, you'll be interested in this, is that the old videos, so the old, I'm going to show you some of the other new designs for the thumbnails as well. The new research shows that people are more likely to click on a thumbnail that has no text or less text, which I was really surprised at. Apparently it's you're 40% more likely to click on a thumbnail that has no text. So that's a pretty big stat. It's hard to ignore. Linda, I'm keen to hear your feedback, and I'm not. This is not about being swayed or not swayed. I'm keen. Yes, faces is is what it's about. Let me show you. So this is another new one. Let me show you here. So this is another new one that she's designed for me. So this is actually for an old video that needs a bit of work. Let me know what you think of that. Yes, that is very true. Cockney's just asked how my missus is doing. Jody is doing well, Cockney, thank you. Here's another one. So this is for one about pitch accuracy and developing pitch. Again, you know, now remembering I'm putting my cards on the table here. I actually really like these personally. Now maybe it's a guy thing. Maybe there's a difference in the gender response. If I go to here, if I look, so this is another new one. I've asked her to do 6 for me. That's interesting, Karen, that your eyes are always drawn to the text. And Dauntless is saying that they like the. So this is this old one that you all seem to like. Maybe I showed you the wrong video to sort of prove the wrong thumbnail to prove my point. Like I said, actually with this thumbnail, I wasn't actually too displeased with it. I thought it was a pretty good thumbnail. Let me show you. Let me show you one of my other thumbnails, and jump over here. Let me get another. I'll show you one of my other thumbnails because maybe that was too good. This was one of my more recent ones as well. Hang on, and I'll show you her comparison that she's done, which I like. So this is the I did a video, as you'll recall. Where are we? Remember I did. Not that one. Where is it? Remember I did this one about 3 weeks ago called Calling All Baritones. And can I also remind you all that usually thumbnails are much smaller than what you're probably looking at them right now. Okay, thumbnails are generally probably, maybe this is a better way to do it. Let me just do this for a second. Hang on a sec. Generally thumbnails are quite a bit smaller. So generally thumbnails are going to be kind of that size. Oh, hang on. Kind of that size. So they're going to be quite a bit smaller. And you're not going to really, it doesn't sort of stand out. Now this is the newest one that she's done for the same video, the same Calling All Baritones. Not as nice as the old corner, this is really interesting to me because I'm really liking it, and but I really value your feedback. Of course, I don't want to start doing something that's not gonna pop. Let me know. Do you guys go looking for that bottom left-hand corner icon? And I am going to trial this VE and see if it generates any sort of difference. Let me know what you think of that. And Dauntless, Linda's talking about, hi, I like the old one better mostly because I can clearly understand what it is all about, and I like the voice font. That's interesting. So let's go back to, so this is the fit to scale. So this is the old one, and this would be the new one. So Eric likes the VE in the left-hand corner. Mr. Burning Hamster likes the VE. I wonder if this is this a guy or girl thing? I'm not sure. Hey, they're from Mexico. Johan, good to have you join us. I like the new one better from Cheese Master. Okay. So that's interesting. Again, I wonder if this is a female thing or a guy thing. Ultimately, you know, I'm not trying to only service one or the other. So anyway, that gives you guys an idea about kind of the direction I'm wanting to head, and I am hoping that I can, you know, direct a lot of the activity, a lot of the workload of thumbnails to my new designer, and personally I really like it. The icon in the bottom left, Karen's just written here, the icon in the bottom left corner is unreadable when it is in actual thumbnail size, even on my laptop. It's just a red box with some tiny font. Yeah, and that's the point. What we're trying to achieve is when you're in thumbnail size. Let me see if I can get this down to thumbnail size. Oh, I'll get it down. So Linda, this is what the thumbnail size looks like with the VE. You can see that's actually considerably, and if I go, I'll see if I can get this down to. So if you look here, so that's the new one. That's the old one. See how I mean, it's just really a red box with sort of some squiggle on it. You can't really read it. And that's, I guess, the point, is that the VE is much easier to distinguish. And yeah, so hopefully that kind of gives you some interested. Cockney's not phased either one or the other. A box would be better. Yes. Okay, interesting. The baritone's thumbnail is the best example between the two. Yeah, I think so. I agree. You can see, you know, my capacity for design is not, you know, it's just not up to that. And look, it's important in life that you're able to recognize what you're good at and what you're not good at. And we've got thus far, but I do want to sort of see if we can start to generate a few more views, so that not just for views' sake. The view count's actually kind of irrelevant. It's about what the view then delivers. It delivers, hopefully, I like to think, quality information based on the latest research, and you know, information that I know you guys, and again, I know I'm preaching to the choir during these live hangouts. You guys, you know, I know really get a lot out of the information. I want more people to get more stuff out of it. So there you go. The other thing, and this is just, I wanted to kind of give you guys the scoop, if you like, is the other thing that we're doing is I've got this new kind of advert that you'll see pop up in new videos coming up. Not all the time, because it's not about drilling the idea of, you know, what's the right word, sales of videos, etc. But have a look at this. This is a new sort of infomercial within the video. Have a watch of this. So what do you think of that? That's kind of a new little advert that I'll be putting if I reference videos during the show, if I reference the CD during the show, I'm going to do that, and I'm hoping that will prove to be really positive. Let me show you that again. Here it comes. So there you go, a little bit of an inside scoop. And I've got one more. So many of you have participated in my 7 Days to a Better Voice program, which is advertised, you know, on the scroll down the bottom there right now. And I asked Julia to do up another little info roll. And again, you are seeing these for the first time. You're the first people to see these, because they haven't been in any videos up until now. This is a exclusive. Here we go. And so I kind of really like that. I think it's simple, it's clean, and tell me what you think. Let me know what you think in the comments, in the chat. If you're watching it after the event, after the live chat's finished, make sure you let me know what you think about it in the comments section. I am keen to get your feedback, and it's helpful. Again, this is our community. Yes, I run the channel, I own the channel, but it's our community, and I want us all to be proud of what's going on here, and I hope you guys are and enjoying that. Sam's jumped in. Nice one, Doc. Thanks, Sam. Good to have you along, mate. Okay, so I think we should turn our attention over to some questions. Thanks everyone for your feedback so far about where am I going here? About the thumbnails and the videos and what have you. Keep an eye out for them over the coming weeks and months, because I'm going to be doing my best to at the very least, if Julia can't do my thumbnails from here on in, I'm going to do my best to lift my game and to emulate some of the things that we've got going on there from her designs, which she will be okay with. Okay, as we cut to have a look at some questions, let me do a video. Some of you might have missed this last week. I just want to advertise a summer school that I'm involved with in the coming in January, and would love for you to participate if you can. But we'll come back straight after this, and we'll be starting to answer your questions. Yeah, so the McGregor School, just a fantastic gathering of musicians for a week, and if you think that's something you'd like to participate in next January here in the beautiful summer of Australia, then we would love for you to participate. My class is already over half full. We only have 12 per class. So if you're interested, and so the early birds only just finished, I think, so already the class is, I think, up to, I forget the exact number that it's up to, but it's already over half full, I remember that. So please, if you'd love to join a week with me and other singers, it's a lot of fun. Okay, let's go back to some of our questions here. And I'm just going to jump over to this here. Oh, we need to get rid of that so you can at least see my head. Okay, let me come back up here, because I remember that there was a question here from Joey. Here it is, just here, which reads, when coaches say pressure and compression, how can I apply that with an exercise? Joey, the first thing when we talk about pressure, and certainly this is the case when I'm referring to pressure, when I refer to pressure, it's a sense of pressure that sits up underneath the vocal folds, and that's referred to as subglottal pressure. It's then the response of the larynx that wants to, if the pressure's too high, and I'm talking specifically to contemporary vocals here, Joey. If the pressure is too high, then the larynx will often want to brace against that, which then puts it into a constricted state. Now, the term compression seems to be a term that is, it seems to be an American term that is used a lot by by speech level singing teachers. And feel free to correct me, anyone. It's not a term that I was overly familiar with before I started as an Australian singing teacher. It's not a term that I was overly familiar with prior to starting to interact with people here on YouTube. And it seems to be an American-driven kind of term, which to me, it's a term I still avoid because people are often being encouraged towards increasing compression. When I think of compression, I think of the vocal folds being brought together and being brought together quite with quite a bit of force, and so that to me seems to be encouraging a long quotient closure with a really high subglottal pressure. Now that can certainly be done with good balance, and we would use that idea that some of the literature would refer to as pressed phonation. We see that used used well in rock and some pop, and some of the heavier genres. We might use that term compression in that regard. I tend to avoid the term because what especially beginner singers tend to do, Joey, is they will find themselves overcompensating with too much pressure. The larynx then goes into a compensatory response, which is to constrict, and then we'll get a buzz in the voice, and it will have it just interrupts clean tone, and it can wear and tear at the voice at a higher rate, which in turn can fatigue the voice at a higher rate, and also lead to if left unchecked, and if you're doing it at a high rev, a lot, you can lead to damage. So we just got to be careful with those terms. Developing good breath management takes time. You've got to remember, you're breathing all day, every day, even when you sleep. And if you're not, you're dead. And so to develop a breath management system that is able to overlay itself upon what is an autonomic process takes time. Of course, there are a couple of exercises on my exercise CD, Joey, that you might like to check out. If you haven't already got the CD, you can use the link below and go and check the exercise CD out. And there are videos on the channel about breath management, which you can. Okay, let's jump back over to here and go looking for some more questions. This is when we started talking about the thumbnails, and mixed response there. Coming down. I'm still looking, everyone. Sorry. Norbu is a name I don't think I've said. Have you joined us before, Norbu? Welcome if you haven't. So why many of the vocal coach, this one here, many of the vocal coach can't master their vocal in singing, not in scales, is because of lack of sheer practice time and perseverance. Ooh, Norbu. Oh, I've just, I didn't actually put that up. Let me show you what I'm looking at, everyone. My apologies. This is what I'm looking at. That's where I got a little bit too ahead of myself. Apologies. Okay, so Norbu, this is a controversial subject, and it's not one that I am in a hurry to. I kind of sit on the fence with this a little, because there is a big, strong push. In fact, I recently saw a video by a YouTube singing teacher who was really saying, and I guess having a go at singing teachers who have not had a lot of singing performance experience. And do you know, I hear this coming from a lot of singing teachers that live in either New York or LA, where they're surrounded, or in metropolitan areas where performance opportunities are vast, and these people are often teaching professionals of name, celebrities, and it kind of leads down the road of, you're only a quality singing teacher if you've taught a celebrity, which is absolute rubbish. You don't need to have taught people of repute to be a valuable contributor to the world of singing teaching. There is value in a teacher having had performance experience, because when that teacher has had a variety of performance experiences, they are able to bring that experience to their students and share that and direct them in how to, and school them in different performance modes. You've got to be careful though, because if you want to build a platform, if singing teachers want to build a platform that they stand on to say, if you haven't taught a celebrity, if you haven't performed in a particular, genre or whatever, that you should never teach. Well, if you take that thought line to its very end, that means you should only ever teach if you've taught a celebrity. We've put that one to the side. It also means that you should only ever teach those genres that you have performed. And so I think you kind of got to be careful there. I certainly haven't performed every genre known to man, and not even accounting for the genres that haven't developed and evolved yet. And what will I do when I'm 60 odd and I'm no longer doing a lot of performance in any? Does that mean I have to stop teaching? I think we have to be careful here. Look, if it's important to you that you have a singing teacher that has had a history of performance, if it's important to you that you find a teacher that has taught celebrities, then that's important to you. I don't think that should then be used as a weapon to disqualify those teachers who have not. I know a number of exceptional teachers who their performance has never really been at a professional level. They've done a lot of amateur, but not what would be referred to as professional. And they certainly don't teach. They're teaching uni students who are not celebrities. They may go on to become celebrities, but that's neither here nor there. So I think we've got to be careful in this area. As you can hear, I'm probably a little bit more pragmatic than some of my American colleagues, because it tends to be my American colleagues where I hear this coming from. And so that would be my view. And I don't say that with any disrespect to those teachers who hold alternate views to mine, but there you go, that's my thoughts around that. Can we go back over here? Cockney is saying how much she enjoyed a video by Karen. Yeah, well, everyone needs to go and check out Karen's channel. I'm telling you, there's some good stuff over there from SingWise. Okay. Interesting question here by Musicals81, and this will be our second last question. I'm only going to do one more question after this. How does pregnancy affect singing? Do you have to change something in the way you support? Really interesting question there. Who was it? Musicals81. Let me tell you what I advise. Because I've been teaching, I think this is year 21 or something of teaching. So I have taught my fair share of people who of women who have fallen pregnant in their process of getting singing lessons, not because of the singing lessons, just make that clear. And I always school my pregnant ladies for the first couple of trimesters. I think you can continue with your vocals and continue to sing. I generally advise, and I only advise, pregnant women are not sick. they're pregnant. And so I advise that, I don't instruct, I don't dictate, I advise pregnant women to, once we reach third trimester, to discontinue their singing for 6 months. 3 months prenatal, 3 months postnatal. And over the years I've had some new mums who have said, some new pregnant ladies who have said, oh no, I'm going to kind of keep going. Not one of those students have continued past second trimester. And the reason for that is because, firstly, you get tired. Let's just call it for what it is. Fatigue is a big thing for pregnant women. That's the first thing. Second thing is, bub is getting large enough where bub is starting to take up a lot of room, and it is becoming more uncomfortable. But in the bub taking up more room, and I don't think we can, let me see if I can go across here and see if I can. So remember that bub's here. Certainly not on me, but bub is here. Your diaphragm needs to be able to descend. It needs to be able to come down, yeah, as you breathe in. When you're not pregnant, so for non-pregnant men and women, when your diaphragm descends, it needs to be able to displace your internal organs. So it's moving tummy and your stomach, liver, intestines, everything's being displaced as the diaphragm descends, making more room for the lungs to expand as you inhale. But have a think about it. You get to third trimester and you're pregnant and you've got bub there. Bub gets to a point where bub is not being displaced. There is no way you are going to move bub anywhere. Bub is now well and truly occupying said area, and the diaphragm is now not really not able to descend efficiently in order to get good air, good breath. And so it starts to challenge breath inhalation and exhalation for that matter, because suddenly, you've got all of the abdominal muscles are distended and you've got no muscle tone. And so the challenge then becomes is, where do we start to manage our air? We start to manage our air here. And then what happens is, for the next at least 3 months, and mind you, most new mums, the last thing they're doing immediately after they had a baby is singing. But even if they were, for the next 6 months, third trimester into first 3 months after bub's born, you are developing a muscle memory where all of your breath management is being done here because it can't be done here. And so you're developing really poor breath patterns. Let me come back over. And so my instruction is always to new mums, look, as much as you might really love your singing, my advice, again, it's only advice, new mums need to have the freedom to do what they feel their body will or won't do, and sometimes in the professional world, what their contracts require them to do. Sometimes, most of the time, I think it's really best that you kind of step off at around about that point of the third trimester. Musicals, I hope that musicals 81. I hope that helps. Just looking back over here. Do you have to change something the way in your support? I think I just answered that in a roundabout way. Okay, I've got one more question that I want to do today, and then we're going to jump out. I think Cockney's saying, I love seeing singing teachers practice what they preach, which is a comment. As do I, Cockney, as do I. And it is important that your singing teacher is able to present what and live what they preach. But that doesn't necessarily mean they've got to have been a celebrity or have taught celebrities or what have you. Some really good questions here. Karen saying she's got an article on singing while pregnant, which is great, which is largely based on my own experience. Very good. You can jump over there, everyone, and have a look at that. Okay, so Karen's saying here that she's led while she was, a couple of weeks before my due date. Karen, I would say you're the exception to the rule. My observation of most singers over the years has been that most people are not capable of doing that. And so it's good to hear that you're able to do that. I would advise, at the very least, I would give permission for mums to not feel that they need to live up to that, because I find that most new mums, they can't. And so, Karen, I'm so pleased for you that you're able to do that. But in my observation, most mums feel that they just need to sit down and have a good rest. Okay, one more question. We've got one here right down the bottom here from Varun, who's new, I think. I haven't seen you before, Varun. Vocalizing and practices singing, can you explain? Really, there's not so much to explain there, I don't think, when it comes to, where am I going? Sorry everyone, I'm trying to get myself back here. Vocalizing and practices singing, can you explain? Look, there is a difference, and I think this might be what you're leaning towards here, Varun. There is a difference between vocal workout and vocal warm-ups, and it is important that you know what you're doing and when. You certainly can work out the voice and warm it up at the same time. That being said, you shouldn't approach a vocal warm-up, that is the activities that you are doing in the lead up to preparing for singing performance. Don't approach that as a vocal workout, because the workout is going to come during the performance. And so you approach a vocal warm-up prior to performance as a vocal warm-up, but you can approach your vocal workout during the week in your practice space. Initially, the first 15 to 20 minutes of it, think of it as warming the voice into that warm-up, into that workout. Don't just dive straight into doing the most ridiculous, sirens or extension work from the word go. You've got to stretch yourself into that, and the muscles have to get some blood flow going. And so I'm not sure whether that's exactly... Varun, you're not new. My apologies. I do have trouble keeping up with everyone, Varun, so my apologies if you've been offended by that. No offense meant. So I hope that is helpful in thinking about those two things wisely and getting the most out of your voice. Okay, I think that's it for today. We're going to call it a day. Karen's got a final comment coming in here regarding the Canadian accent. Let's everyone remember, Karen, that this is coming from an American. Oh dear. I personally don't mind the Canadian accent, especially the French Canadian. I love it. Okay, well, if this is the first time you've ever joined us here, I hope you've enjoyed yourself during our live hangout. There is a new video coming out on Wednesday. Again, the only way you can be reminded and notified that the new videos are coming out is to subscribe. Join our ever-growing community of singers from across the globe. Hit the white bell icon and let YouTube know that you want to be notified about the videos when we go live, so that you can join in our conversation, which today has just been really positive and really we've covered some ground today. Thanks everyone for your feedback regarding the new thumbnails and the new corner thumbnail logo. Let's see how it goes. I'll give you, maybe in a couple of months towards Christmas, I can let you know if there's been any change in the amount of views and people that are subscribing to the channel. Of course, this is our channel. I love spending the time with all of you, and I certainly hope to do that again next week when we hang out live again. Until I see you in the next Voice Essentials video, I'm Dr. Dan. Sing well.